Okay, this is lesson 6C of our calculator review, and today we're going to review finding the mean. Now, you're also aware that mean, another word for mean would be average, and so mathematically term is mean, but a lot of times you will see average. Okay, and you will find the word average out there in everyday life. You might find the average price of gas, or the average batting average, or the average number of touchdowns scored by a team. So knowing what the average is and how people find it is very important. So let's look at some examples. To find the mean of ages for Apollo pilots given above, add their ages, then divide by 7 the number of pilots. So let's look at this example. There's Apollo missions, and there's their ages. So you would add up all of their ages. So here's all their ages right here. You would add them up, and then because there's 7 different numbers, you're dividing it by 7. So you'd add it up, divide by 7. So this looks like a fraction, but remember, fractions are division. And you would get 8. So the mean of Apollo's pilots' ages is 38 years. Let's look at some other examples. Find the mean of the data. So you're going to add up the numbers. So I would add 20 plus 25 plus 25 plus 20 plus 25 and divide by 5 because again, I have 5 numbers I'm adding. So again, I take the 115, divide by 5, and I would get 23. Okay, let's do one more. Again, they added up all of these numbers, 14 plus 17 plus 9 plus 2 plus 4 plus 10 plus 5 plus 3, and divided by 8 because there's 8 numbers. Okay, now it's your turn. I would find the mean of this data. So take your calculator out, add up the numbers, and divide up how many there is. Pause the video. When you get done working it, unpause the video and see if you're correct. Okay, so you would add them up, divide by 7. So should have gotten 630 when you add them up. If you didn't, you want to try that again. Divide by 7 and you get 90. Great, here's another one for you to try. Again, add them up and divide. It's really important that you are doing this practice during the video. So when you get to the worksheet, you will know what to do and then not have to redo the worksheet. So this is a good chance to pause, find the answer, and then see if you're correct. Okay, so you should have gotten 45. The mean of this data is 45. Okay, now we're going to go into a little bit of the worksheet. So I am going to bring that up. Okay, so here is what your worksheet looks like. That your practice worksheet looks like. So I'm just going to do the first one for you. You are going to go ahead and add up these numbers. 16 plus 11 plus 15 plus 4. And you should, if you add those up, get 46. You take 46 and divide by 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. And you should get 11.5. So the answer is 11.5. Okay. On some of the worksheets, you will have this part at the bottom where it says find one missing, one of the data is missing. So I just want to go over how you would do this. So if we think about it, we're adding up this data and we're dividing it by this. So if you remember somewhat in algebra, you always do the opposite. So if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do 5 plus 11 plus 2 plus n, some number. So I'm going to pretend this is the number n with that letter, and divide by 4 numbers. And I should get 7. So if you set it up like this, and then you're just going to do the opposite. So instead of dividing, you're going to multiply. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. And if I add up 5 plus 11 plus 2, I get 5. I get 11. 5 plus 11 plus 2 is 18. So now if I rewrite this, I have 18 plus some number is going to get me 28. So to do that, I can just count up. Or I can subtract 18 from both sides. So remember, we're doing the opposite. So you get n equals 10. So my other data point here is now 10. So if I actually took 10 plus 5 plus 11 to 2 and divided by 4, I should get 7. Okay, so for some of these problems, you're just going to have to kind of work it backwards. So here's a really good example of how you do that. You're just going to multiply and then subtract instead of add and divide. The only other problem you have like this is number 3. So as Amos knows, the average enrollment in the courses listed in the table is 26. You forgot to record the number of students enrolled in computer graphics. What is the missing amount in the table? So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to set this up, 36 plus 15 plus 31 plus n divided by 4. So again, and that should equal 20. Oops, I ran out of room over 26. Ran a little bit of room over there, wrote it too big. So again, you have to add these up. So you're going to multiply and then subtract, and you should be able to find the computer graphics. Let me know if you have questions. You can go ahead and complete the practice now, and then if you do that correctly, you can go on to the mastery check.